Our topic is going to be whether to raise the driving age of raise the driving age to 18 or not. If we are on the affirmative side, to support our claim, I am going to support our claim. We are going to say that a 16-year-old is not as mentally developed as an 18-year-old. Teenagers have a high rate of being distracted, particularly with texting and social media while driving. And if the age is increased, accidents will be reduced. My first claim is that a 16-year-old is not as mentally developed as an 18-year-old. The brain's executive branch, the prefrontal cortex, which deals with quick decisions and setting priorities and suppressing impulses, is not as fully developed as those as an 18-year-old compared to a 16-year-old. This means that a 16-year-old is more likely to engage in dangerous actions because they prefer to indulge in their sexual arousement, novelty, and risk, and are willing to take more risks, such as driving faster, making illegal decisions such as shifting lanes quickly, and not obeying the right of way. It is also compared to the fact that an 18-year-old is given you have to be 18 to vote and join the military, which is more mentally, which is not as mentally demanding as driving a car, which is very, very dangerous. So it doesn't really make sense for a 16-year-old to be allowed to drive a car. My second claim is that teenagers have a high rate of being distracted, emphasizing on texting in their car. While there are laws against texting or using your phone in a car, many people, especially teenagers, break this law. The risks of texting in a car are that they won't be able to see an event in the road, such as somebody else making a mistake while driving, and that if they can't see it, they won't be able to avoid it. A person who is using their phone will probably have the reaction rate of a 70-year-old person whose has mental deficiencies, whether because of age or illness and the like. And when an adult dials a cell phone, they miss an event 13% of the time, while a teenager dialing the phone will miss it 43% of the time. These statistics were gotten from a law firm that represents injuries by car accidents. And also, in 2010, according to www.distraction.gov, in 2010, 392 people were killed in crashes involving distracted drivers, and an estimated additional 416,000 were injured in motor vehicles involving a distracted driver. Text messaging creates a crash risk 23 times worse than driving while not distracted. My last claim will be that accidents will be reduced if the driving age is raised. A 16-year-old who drives is more likely to have to crash within their first 6 months than that of a 17-year-old or an 18-year-old. Compared to a 17-year-old, it's 3 times higher, and compared to an 18-year-old, it's 5 times higher. There's also the fact that New Jersey has one of the most complex driving laws that not only restricts teenagers or people who don't have their licenses to not drive at night or stuff like that, but also teenagers usually get their licenses around 18 or 17. These reduce, since New Jersey has implemented those standards, their crash rate has reduced by 1/3 compared to other states, and according to www.saferteendriver.com, a site that helps teenagers who are just getting started in driving. 16-year-olds between the years of 1997 and 2008 have crashed 60,000 times, while a 17-year-old and 18-year-old have only crashed 45,000 times each. That means that a 16-year-old has crashed about 15,000 times more than a 17-year-old and 18-year-old. In conclusion, that's why I think the driving age should be changed to 18 due to the fact that a 16-year-old is not as mentally developed as an 18-year-old. Teenagers have a high rate of being distracted, and that causes more accidents, and accidents will be reduced if it is raised to 18.